Hey, good morning everybody. This is John Zook. I'm here to bring in the end of the week and Easy Insights number 9. Today is Friday, July 14th. Corey and I are traveling separately this week, so I will be your selfie from a field. I just so happened to stop in a cornfield to find exactly what Corey and I were talking about last week about above ground pathogens. Here you can see some common rust, and now you can see some northern corn leaf blight. Any of you that saw my tweet earlier this week saw that I saw plenty of northern corn leaf blight in south central Minnesota. Make sure you're getting out in your crop and looking for those above ground diseases before you're spraying for a fungicide. However, I am not here today to talk about above ground. I'm going to talk about below ground. Right now our crop is about 3 to 4 leaves from tassel, meaning in about 7 to 10 days we're going to start to see the majority of tassels emerging. That's going to be an indicator of the peak of the grand growth stage. We're going to be taking up nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium at the greatest capacity that we have so far this season. That's going to make sure that our roots are in the healthiest form. Some of the calls, some of the things that I'm seeing out in the field is we have some corn rootworm feeding and some pressure out there. So the best thing that I like to do to indicate whether or not I have pressure is dig roots and do a corn rootworm float. Here's how I do a corn rootworm float. So I take a 7x7 cube of dirt with the root ball. I put that root ball in a 5-gallon pail. I let the dirt crumble off. Make sure you're not squeezing the dirt, because what you'll see is if you squeeze the dirt, the corn rootworm larvae are not going to float. You're going to squeeze them dead and you won't find them. Then I move that foam around for 5 to 10 minutes and I look for those larvae and I see if they're floating to the top, and then I just start counting them. A few of the things you want to see if you're looking at the larvae is you want to look at the difference in instar stages. So corn rootworms will have a 1, 2, and 3 instar before they switch to a pupae form. Each instar is 7 to 10 days long. That length in time is going to tell you when the emergence of those beetles is going to occur. If that happens with your silk clipping, you want to be on top of it and be aware to make sure that pollination goes as quickly and efficiently as possible. So in this field, you can see I have an ear shoot with a husk already starting to come out, so we're very close to silking. When that beetle emerges, the beetle's going to crawl up that stalk all the way, find that ear shoot, find the silks, and if it's hot, she's going to clip on the underside of that ear shoot, start clipping the silks there. So you got to make sure you're checking the underside for any kind of silk clipping. If you find silk clipping, make sure you scout to threshold and spray if there's any pressure. The other thing you can do for beetles is you can hang a sticky trap. So what I did here is I hung a sticky trap about head high. You can see I caught a few flies already. Might take a couple days. I like to come in and scout every 2 days, and I'll just make sure if I have any females on that sticky trap, I like to squeeze them. If she has eggs in them, that means she's gravid, she's pregnant, and she's just about ready to lay those eggs. That's going to be an indicator of when you want to get in the field and spray before she can lay those eggs. Some of the other things that I'm seeing out in the field is I've been to several fields this week. All my spare time has been doing these corn rootworm floats. This root is from a Roundup Ready field, no insecticide. This root is from a Double Pro field with insecticide. And this root here is from a Smart Stacks field, this field that I'm currently in, with insecticide. So for those of you that haven't seen corn rootworm feeding before, here's an indicator of what it looks like. So if you look at those roots, you can see that there's some brown scarring on them. I washed them off nice. There's also some tunneling and there's a lot of feeding. So as far as threshold, when you're looking at that bucket, if you're finding 2 to 3 larvae, that's particularly normal. In this particular root, however, I found 15 larvae in 3 different pupae. So definitely finding some pressure out there, and this is definitely corn rootworm feeding that we're seeing in the field. So a couple takeaways of what I've been talking about so far today is look at the larvae and what instar stage they're at. If they're timing with silk emergence, make sure you're out in the field and looking for silk clipping. The other thing is hang a sticky trap and scout the females for when they become pregnant. When they're pregnant, it's probably time to spray, because that'll limit your larvae pressure for next year. What I can tell you so far of everything I talked about today is that it is going on in your neighbor's field. Get out in yours and make sure it ain't happening there. Our answer plot data says that Smart Stacks with insecticide is worth 4 to 6 bushel, so it could be a significant amount this year in 2017 to get the return on investment. Until next time, this is Easy Insights number 9.